week 6 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for this week. The first pitcher, Framber Valdez of the Houston Astros. So Framber Valdez, he's been banged up a little bit this season, and the numbers haven't been all that great as well, but we know he's a good pitcher for fantasy baseball, and he's had some great seasons, leading the Astro team to World Series appearances and World Series victories, and so far in a small sample size this year, 22 2/3, 1-1 record, 19 Ks at 3.97 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, and a quality start. So right now, Valdez, he's been back over the last couple weeks here, and he hasn't really done much for this Astro team. And his ERA's definitely ballooned in the time as well. So 10 1/3, 1-1 record in the time, 9 Ks, a 6.10 ERA, 1.45 WHIP in the time. So right now, this Houston Astro team, they're definitely struggling mightily to start the season. I know it's very early, but they could get you pretty quick if you start off like this Astro team has pretty slow. But I think Valdez, he'll get things going. He's back now in this rotation. His next outing's May 10th at the Tigers, which we know their offense isn't all that great. And I think Valdez could bounce back to the last couple games since the return April 28th at the Rockies. 5 innings in that one. Got the win, 5 hits, 2 runs, 6 Ks. And then May 4th versus the Mariners, 5 1/3, got the loss. 9 hits, 5 runs, a walk, 3 Ks. So Valdez, mixed bag of results so far in the early going. But like I said, Valdez, he has ace-like stuff. And he's one of the more complete lefties in all Major League Baseball, in my opinion. So right now, since this Astro team's struggling and not many wins in the early going for them in the first month and a half, and Valdez, he's been up and down and injured as well. He's a perfect buy low pitcher this week. The next pitcher, Carlos Rondon of the New York Yankees. A season and change he's been with them, and that really hasn't been all that great, even though this season he did start off the year healthy and in the rotation. On the year, 36 2/3. 2-2 record, 36 Ks at 3.68 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, and 3 quality starts. But the last couple weeks here, 1-1 record, 14 Ks, 6.30 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, and a quality start. So Carlos Rondon, we know a few years ago with the San Francisco Giants, he was one of the best pitchers in fantasy baseball. And if he could just get back to what he was doing a couple years ago with the Giants, he could be a great pitcher, especially for an offensive juggernaut like the New York Yankees. So the last few games for Rondon, April 22nd versus Oakland, which was a gimme, 7 innings, no decision, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality start. April 27th at the Brewers, 6 innings, got the win, 2 hits, a run, a walk, 8 Ks, a quality start. And then a tough outing May 2nd at the O's, 4 innings, got the loss, 8 hits, 6 runs, 6 Ks. So Rondon, I think for the most part, he's been pretty good this season for this Yankee team, but a lot of people are down on him, and especially people in New York, because he was injured majority of the season last year, and he's a guy that just can't stay healthy, and he's had the ups and downs. So his next outing's actually here today versus the Houston Astros, and we'll see what he can do versus this lineup, even though, like I mentioned early in the video, this Astro team's struggling mightily, and this Yankee team's finally had the Astros number in the early going this season. The next pitcher is Jordan Montgomery of the Arizona Diamondbacks. So Montgomery, we know he signed on the brink of the season with this Diamondback team after he was hoping to get a monster contract over $100 million. And on the year, 16 innings, 1-2 record, 8 Ks, a 5.63 ERA, 1.31 WHIP, and 2 quality starts. So definitely no spring training for Montgomery, and signing last minute, like I mentioned, did him in. And so far, he's been struggling for the most part, besides his first outing since he started on the year. So the first 3 outings for Montgomery, April 19th at the Giants, 6 innings, got the win, 4 hits, a run, 3 Ks, a quality start. April 24th at the Cardinals, 7 innings, got the loss, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start. And May 1st versus the Dodgers, he got tagged in that one, 3 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, a K. So we know this Dodger team, best team in the league, obviously, and they're going to get their runs, and they're going to put up numbers. So right now, Montgomery, for the most part, I would say, 1 great outing, 1 mediocre outing, and 1 horrible outing. And we'll see what he does here today as well, pitching at the Cincinnati Reds, a team dealing with a lot of injuries and a team that's starting to struggle of late here, Cincinnati. So right now, Montgomery, he's got good stuff. He's a lefty pitcher, one of the better lefties in the league as well, I believe. And last season, he helped, obviously, Texas Ranger team make the World Series and win it. So right now, Montgomery, a little more patience I would have, but since he's slumping, and if you need some starting pitcher, he's a perfect buy low pitcher this week. The next pitcher, Chris Bassitt of the Toronto Blue Jays. So Bassitt's been on the list a decent amount so far this year, and he's really struggling, no doubt about it. 36 1/3, 2-5 record, 34 Ks, a 5.45 ERA, a 1.68 whip, and 3 quality starts. So walks in a problem and hits for Bassitt in the early going. And he's been struggling mightily. Toronto Blue Jay team is Bassitt. So right now, well, you pretty much could get him cheap here as Bassitt. And I know he's a pitcher that's got obviously a lot of good seasons under his belt, a good track record, especially the last couple of years with the New York Mets, the Blue Jays last season. I think it's just early season struggles, and he'll get things going as Bassitt. April 21st at the Padres, 5 1/3, got the loss, 6 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. April 26th versus the Dodgers, he got bombed 2 2/3, got the loss, 9 hits, 7 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And then May 1st, a pretty decent outing, 6 innings, got the loss, 4 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start versus the Royals. A confidence booster for Chris Bassitt to go out there, go 6 innings, quality start, 3 runs in that one. But now here today, a tough matchup at the Philadelphia Phillies, one of the best teams in the league in the early going, where their hitting on all cylinders, their pitching's been great, and it's going to be a true test here for Chris Bassitt. And obviously, if he gets hit good in this ball game, his value will go down even more, and you would have to give up even less, I believe, to get him in the deal. So like I said, Bassitt's been an innings eater when healthy over the last few seasons. He showed he could do it in the National League East with the Mets, and he showed it last season in his first year in Toronto. So right now, I would buy Bassitt low this week, and the 5th and final pitcher I look to buy and trade for is Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants. I know Webb, he's going to cost more most likely than all these pitchers I mentioned in this video here, because Webb, he's got that ace-like stuff, and he's just a bulldog that goes out there and he gives you 7-8 innings, even if he's struggling through a ball game. On the year, 46 1/3, 3-3 record, 36 Ks, a 3.5 ERA, 1.36 whip, and 5 quality starts. The last couple weeks, though, 15 2/3, 1-2 record, 14 Ks, a 4.60 ERA, a 1.72 whip, and a quality start. So Logan Webb, like I said, he's still going to have to pay a great price for him to get him on your roster. But like I said, the numbers haven't been elite for him in the early going so far this season. So right now, well, his value could be dropped off a little bit, especially coming off of very 2 bad outings at Boston and Philly. I think you could get him as a buy low this week, April 23rd versus the Mets. He pitched a gem, 8 innings, got the win, 6 hits, no runs, a walk, 4 Ks, a quality start. April 30th at the Red Sox, 3 2/3, got the loss, 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And May 5th at the Phillies, 4 innings, got the loss, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks. So like I said, the last 2 outings alone, the value dropped off a little bit for Webb. But he's an ace pitcher, no doubt about it. He's got a good matchup coming up May 10th versus the Reds, where they're free fall. I think he could bounce back then, but if the Webb owner, he's a little disgruntled after the last 2 outings, where he went out there and he pretty much did nothing for fantasy owners. He's a buy low off of those ball games this week. So that's a few pitchers I look to buy and trade for Week 6 of the fantasy baseball season.